Hello again. I'm sure that we are all perfectly well aware of two things. The first is that this country has spent a colossal amount in the last few years on building an aircraft carrier and various destroyers. I think we're nearly finished building a second aircraft carrier as well. All state-of-the-art vessels able to tackle any kind of job. The second thing which we all know is that last week well over 1,000 illegal immigrants arrived in Britain in a single day by travelling over the sea which separates this country from its nearest neighbour. Now, I'm no military strategist, but it really does seem to me that there might be some way of combining those two pieces of information to Britain's advantage. Let's see. Seaborne invasion, state-of-the-art naval vessels. Can anybody see what it is yet? Over the summer, Britain sent a carrier strike force to the South China Sea with a view to deterring China's territorial ambitions in the area, and also signalling that we would defend the breakaway province of Taiwan if China attacked it. Now, those same ships are sailing around near the Persian Gulf to give a message to Iran. This is all well and good, of course, but I cannot really pretend to see why we should be worrying unduly if the Chinese want to take back part of their country or drill for oil in the South China Sea. It is perhaps very parochial of me, but I'm more concerned about what's happening in England. Call me a little Englander if you will, but events on the beaches of Kent are of more interest to me by far than what may happen in Taiwan or the Gulf states. Now, I'm not of course suggesting that a British warship should anchor in the Channel and start shelling the coast of France, and neither would I advocate the new carrier HMS Queen Elizabeth launching planes to carry out airstrikes on Paris. Although I suspect that few people here would weep uncontrollably if that were to happen. What I do think, though, is that with our new and beefed up navy, we probably have enough power to prevent landings being made on the shores of England. I'm convinced of this. After all, there would have been little point in building those ships if they were not capable of defending the country's borders. The question we then ask ourselves is a simple one. If we have the capability to prevent thousands of people landing on English beaches, why are we not taking any action to do so? I am sure that 9 out of 10 people in this country would support such an action wholeheartedly. The answer can only be that there is no political will for doing so. This is alarming. While the Prime Minister is fooling around worrying about whether India or China are going to carry on generating enough electricity for their people, his own country is coming under increasing pressure from quite another direction, and he doesn't even seem that bothered about it. The so-called crisis in the English Channel could be stopped in a few days if those setting off in small boats realised that they would be intercepted and then returned to France. This could be done without the cooperation of the French. Simply prevent the dinghies and inflatables from entering British territorial waters. If it were to prove necessary to rescue sinking boats, then instead of bringing them to Kent, those rescued could be taken on board a Royal Naval vessel and then taken back to French territorial waters and sent back in another inflatable, a new one perhaps. How long do you think it would take before people realised that this particular game was over and they gave up trying? I doubt it would take more than a week of resolute action of this kind before the crisis ended.